Hello and welcome to the AI Old Timer. If you're watching this, you're obviously curious about AI and how to get started. Well, this is sort of a beginner's guide. I'm going to have to go to some notes here because I'm a beginner too, and we're sort of following my journey here. Um, my first suggestion, because I'm about probably a week into learning about all this shit, and I would just have to say, don't eat the elephant all at once. That's all I can say. There was an expression. I think it was made big in the 90s. How do you eat an elephant? One tiny bite at a time. That's how do you consume information. Lots of information. Um, AI can do it really, really fucking quickly, but us humans, we've got to just take it little bit by little bit. Um, yeah, where do you start with AI? I would say play. Just imagine you were a kid and just play around with it. I've got a clip that I might show a little bit later on um, from yesterday where I was chatting to a friend of mine who was a complete luddite, Daryl, and I've been telling them for ages to get into crypto, get into AI, just play around with it. Expand your mind. He's only 51. He's a little nipper, and you might find that little clip quite interesting. But play with it. Have fun with it. Don't be afraid of it. I think people fall into three camps. There are those people that jump headlong in. There are those people that stand back and watch, and there are people that run away. If you run away from AI, you're fucked. You're totally fucked, especially if you've got a job. I don't have to do this, thankfully. I'm really lucky that I retired and we've got our money invested in certain places, so we have a nice income coming in. But I'm doing this to sort of help other people that might not be in the same boat. So where's your jumping in point? Follow your interests. What are you naturally curious about? I mean, ChatGPT. If you haven't got involved with ChatGPT, it's pretty fun. Just treat it like a Q&A friend, someone that you can ask questions and they give you answers, but way more information than you need. And just play around with it and ask it what how can it help you and things like that. And also network. That's what I'm doing on this journey. I've joined a great little group. Well, not little. I think it's probably like the biggest. I think Liam Otley's group, Kiwi friend. Um, I think it's like up to 100,000 people on that group, and it's great. They're all friendly people. We're quite niche at the moment. There aren't that many people that really understand what's going on with AI. Well, have a little look at what Daryl and I talked about, and he asked a few questions. I answered them probably not that well, but here's we'll just
Blows my
we'll just
mind.
cut.
And yeah, you probably still see you're more of a luddite than I am. I mean, I'll
Well,
sort of
I am.
jump
I
in with
am.
stuff, and but no,
I'm.
I mean, if you haven't had a play around with ChatGPT, and this is for our viewers as well, just have a muck around with it. I mean, when we get together face to face, I'll actually have to take you through the paces with it because it's just incredible. It is absolutely boggling. Um, but
My problem is that I don't really know where to start with all of this. I mean, I have actually gone on to. Well, I think I have anyway. I don't actually really know what the fuck I've done, but you're right. I am a complete luddite. I'm a total dinosaur, and I really hate all this shit. because most of it is shit. It's complete. Most technology, in my mind, is completely unfucking necessary. You know, it's quite good in certain sort of ways because when it does a good job and it works, and you can see a need for it. It's fantastic. It's great. But I just think that there's a lot of unnecessary use of technology. People insist on fucking using it for all sorts of crap, and and I just can't reconcile that really. And I know you've sort of kept having a go at me for you sort of must get on and have a bit of a go at ChatGPT, but I'm not even sure that how to do that. Even you sort of I think I googled it and sort of clicked on some sort of website, and I thought, well, fucking now what? What do I do now? How do you even get started with it? I don't know. Maybe you can enlighten me, Anne.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I would do, I mean, basically, it is a. How do you describe ChatGPT? It is a large language model, as they call it, and it's basically been trained on everything, and it learns as it goes. I suppose you could say. I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it'll come up with a box, and it will say, an input box where you can
Yeah.
type into, and it will say, "What can I help you with today?" And for argument's sake, I mean, this is what I did with Audrey, because she's sort of been on the fringes and hadn't sort of done anything with it, and I said, "Well, ask it to write you a limerick about a hippopotamus and a duck or something like that." And it said, "Oh, there once was a hippo named Fred who had a mate who was a duck who was dead. And he blah, 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 blah." I'm literally in seconds. And I'm saying
Yeah.
like 2 seconds, shoof, there was a limerick. And I said, right, you think that's fun? Now ask it to write the limerick in the style of Shakespeare. Zoom.
Right.
It turned it into a sonnet, and it wasn't half bad. But that's just fun stuff playing around. But on a more practical point, one of my oldie friends from the wine group that Audrey and I are part of, her dad was born in Poland, and during the war, he managed to escape, I think, Russian or German occupation, and make his way through China and all this kind of shit, a really long, convoluted way back to here. And he chronicled it, but he only wrote it as notes, not sort of in a sort of interesting novel like way. And
Yeah.
she's sort of keen to sort of dramatize it a little bit. And so she gave it to me, and I sort of said, "Well, you could probably use AI to turn it into a novel if you want to, if you're not experienced, and then you can tweak it and this, that, and the other." And I just took a little chunk because you can only process little bits at a time. But I put all of his notes into it and prefaced it, and they call it prompting. So if you actually tell ChatGPT who it is, give it sort of an identity. So in this one, I sort of said, "Oh, you're like John le Carre. You're a best-selling, war crime novel writer. Take this text and puff it up a little bit."
Right.
Zoomp. Literally within seconds, it's gone. "It was a cold, grey, misty morning. I was traipsing through the heathland of outer Poland, blah, 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 blah." And I went, fuck me. I mean, that would have taken me probably an hour
Yeah.
to write that, and have to be interested. And I don't know, just look at it as an assistant or a helper that doesn't eat, doesn't sleep, doesn't shit fart, and doesn't fucking care. Doesn't have any emotions. So
Yet.
I use mine as a sort of. I mean, I've got lots of different ones for different projects that I'm working on, and um, one I asked it to teach me about Python, like not the snakes, but the language. That's the language that it's written with. I sort of said, look, I'm interested to
Python.
find out, what this programming language is. Could you
Right.
teach me? And it went, yeah, here we go. Here's your first step. Plop. And I said, well, I've got nothing. Where do I code? And they said, oh, well, just download this app. And so I then had one box on one side of the screen and my AI on the other, teaching
Right.
me, and I'm putting the code in. But
So can
a
I
bit
just
bored.
interject there for a second? When you sort of see all these videos online that are made with AI, do you just ask AI to create a video, or do you have to code it yourself? I really am showing my complete naivety here. It might sound like a silly question, and it probably is, but again, you are talking to a,
Yeah, no. This is brilliant. This is good because it's good for me because then I get to sort of realize I know a lot more than I thought I did. It's a little bit like that. What is it? The John Cleese thing of like, I look up to him because he's upper class. I look down on him because he's lower class. Yeah, that one. No, but to your question, so ChatGPT is just text to text. So you type in text and it will give you a text answer, but it can write code. So anything to do with text. So you could say, write me a love song. Write me lyrics to a love song based on the style of Lionel Richie, for example. But then there are other AI programs that are out there that there's like text to picture. So you can say, create a picture of Keir Starmer that looks like a tosser. And it will just be
easy
him.
enough. You
It will
wouldn't
just
really
be
have to
him.
do anything, would you?
It will look like a tool. There you go. And no, but you could sort of say like, give me a picture of a duck in a speedboat on top of a mountain or whatever, and it will go zoosh, and it will just pull together all these bits of images and just create this thing. For the video stuff, there are then video applications where you can also type in stuff. You can utilize it. I mean, there are some YouTubers that have got enough content. They've got their own AI that is now sampling everything they've ever put up on YouTube, so that they now have a bot of themselves. So it'd be like me here, but it's not me. It's a fake me, but it'll act like you can chat to me and I'll interact, but it isn't me. It's my AI bot. Absolutely mind blowing.
I wonder if in the future we can actually get robots of ourselves so that they can actually go out and do the job, and we just take the paychecks.
Well, see, this is where the whole crypto thing links in because there's all these entities. I mean, you sort of, we were joking. I sort of said, doesn't have feelings, it's not conscious yet. There's a big debate going on as to, well, again, big philosophical debate from years was sorry, just topping up my batteries about what is consciousness. I mean, the jury's still out on that, really.
Nobody actually knows.
We don't know this computer fully yet.
No.
But no, I mean, I do see it where there's going to be robots. And the latest thing is everybody's going to have their own AI agent, as they call it, which is sort of like your little helper. And again, you're probably using AI without even knowing you're using AI. So if you go on a Google search, there'll be AI there. Your phone has AI built into it now. You don't really watch TV or anything like that, but Netflix.
Welcome back. Not sure how much of that footage I shared with you, so all I'll say is just take Daryl's interest and curiosity and uncertainty to heart, and yeah, I mean, not everybody is going to run with this technology. There's a lot of people that are going to be left behind. I know that. I see this as a great big tsunami that's going to come crashing down. Some of you might be business owners, some of you might be workers, some of you might be like my wife's nephew who's starting out, and I'm trying to get him interested in this. That's sort of half the reason why I'm doing this as well, is for young people around me that don't know, already pre-AI, kids couldn't afford to get on the housing ladder. Wow. If you're not interested in technology, you may as well just sit on the sidelines and take your welfare check. But I think if you're watching this, you're probably trying to get ahead of the curve. Stick with me on my journey. So I'm already wearing my sort of semi Liam Otley wife beater shirt, as we call them in America. Yeah, I'll try and impart as much information as I can. I'm not even a week in, I think, on my whole experience with this. Obviously, I've been playing around with ChatGPT for a lot longer, but getting into AI agents and coding and all of that lot, it's going to be a lot longer program. But yeah, stick around for the journey, and if I haven't bored you, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Oh, by the way, this isn't whiskey, this is what is it? Carlsberg. This is Carlsberg beer. So too early in the day for whiskey. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.